Hello and welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. So, today let's talk just a little bit about the whole thing with Amazon and Kindle. Do you have a Kindle? I have a Kindle. A lot of people have Kindles. I actually used to have a paperwhite Kindle and now I have the Fire. I do still really love hardcover or physical copies of books. And so, there is a really great reason to have physical copies of books. Maybe not every book, but some. I have physical copies of books that I like to reference or that are possibly now out of print. But the big thing with Amazon is for the Kindle, they just all of a sudden it was like, you're not going to be able to download to USB to then put it onto another type of e-reader. Like if you have a Nook or if your friend has a Nook and you want to lend them your book. And I use the quotes for book because technically, even though you gave them money and you're reading a book, it's not an actual book. What you paid for is like a license to access the content. And so then that means that they can change how you can access your content. Or they can also, if you check something and like, yep, update it, like if there's an update to grammar issues or a spelling issue, they can update your license or your book. So with digital, yes, it takes up less space, which is great for people who are minimalists. You sort of lose that ability to make the determination about how that book is going to be used. Will you be able to lend it to a friend? If you have it on a Kindle, no. If you have a physical copy, you can. So there's trade-offs when you do that. So that's what the whole thing has been about for the last like 10 to 14 days is, can Amazon do that? Is it a legal issue at all? Is to, instead of just saying any book that you've ever purchased or any license that you've ever purchased to access content for a book, they're saying you can't download to USB. They should have possibly done, and this is a great suggestion, as of this day, any book or any license that you purchase to access this book, this content, you will not be able to download to USB. Any of the others that you purchased prior to, you can still do. What they didn't do that. I did check before going to work, and that option is no longer there in that drop down box when I go to my content library. But again, it's content. It's not an actual physical book. So there's reasons to keep physical copies of books. So let's go take a look real quick at my library in the house. So as you can see, there's only 4 shelves to this bookcase. Robert actually built this in a closet. And then this is my to be read pile. I have a few on there. And then just a quick scan of like, I kept the books that are either reference books or books that I really loved that I would recommend to other people. I do have my yearbooks from high school and junior high. And then I do have some books that are autographed. So obviously I'll be keeping those. There's that book Divine that I recommended. And then I do have some out of print books, those Worlds of Tears. And then these are also autographed books. And then I'm hoping later this year to have these 2 books by Charles Martin autographed. And then I kept a set of the Laura Ingalls Wilder books from my childhood. But as you can see, I don't keep many books. And then this is my books to exchange at the used bookstore. All right, so like you can see, I do like physical copies. I do keep a lot of like books that I want to reference or books that are maybe out of print. Those are the ones that I typically keep. And I do that especially for like reference books because for me, it's weird. I can remember like kind of where something is in the book. So if I'm trying to remember something like a quote or a fact or a statistic or something, if I read it in a book, I can be like, it was in the first third of the book on the right hand side of the page, about halfway down. And then I can kind of start to go through the actual book and find what it is that I'm looking for. I can't do that on a Kindle. And it's just because there's not an actual physical book where I'm turning pages. I can see that I've only gotten through, like the first third of the book or whatever. Kindle, you can't do that because it's not a physical copy. So that's why I keep a lot of the reference books or nonfiction books that I found really interesting. I'll keep those copies. So like The Gift of Fear by Gavin DeBecker, I have a copy of that. It's like 20 something years old. I think they have like 17 more editions of it. I probably have like the second or the third edition of it, but I really like it because then I have that copy. It's mine. It cannot be changed like it can on a digital, like an e-reader, like with the Kindle. And I also just really like the out of print books. Like I said, a lot of the stuff is probably what I keep is more like a nonfiction to be able to reference. And then there'll be some fiction books that I keep because I got them autographed. Can't have an author autograph a Kindle book. So I'll have those. And then, or if it's a book that I really, really liked. So there's a new author that I'm liking a lot. T.I. Lowe. She's new to me, actually. I really like T.I. Lowe. This is her first book that I read. It's called Under the Magnolias. And I've read 3. And I have physical copies of all of them. But I like to keep books that I really enjoyed. So I like having my Kindle too, because if I'm out and I want to read a book, like I have books that I have that are downloaded, and then I have like the full library. So you can see like there's a ton of books that I can pick from. I have like 210 books, which is nowhere close to what a lot of people have on their Kindle. Some people have like thousands of books, which I understand you wouldn't want to keep copies, all those physical copies. You just may not have room for that. I used to keep like every book, and I don't now. I just find it easier to keep the books that I really, really enjoyed and then take the ones that I maybe weren't my favorite or that I wouldn't want to reread or that I maybe wouldn't recommend to somebody or that I know that I will be able to get again, no problem. There's a million copies of like Gone with the Wind. I do have a copy of that though, by the way. But if you want to read like Bridges of Madison County again, like go to the library or go to a used bookstore and they will have a copy of it. And so that's what I do is I will take the books that I'm not going to keep and just take them to a used bookstore here in my area. I love them. They're great. They have a ton of books. And then they're really great. Like I will message them and ask if they have a specific book. And they'll say, yes, we do. We'll hold it for you. Or they'll let me know that they don't have it. And if they don't have it, then I know that I'll have to order it from Amazon. I know there's people who are very upset with the whole Kindle thing. And they're like going to be boycotting Amazon. Listen, what other online retailer is there that can compete with Amazon? If you know, please let me know because I can't think of anyone. If you're wanting to get like just random, like they're the Walmart of online retailers, and so if there's like a Target version of Amazon online, please let me know who has like everything, because you can get books, you can get makeup, you can get clothes, you can get, car accessories, literally anything from Amazon. And so I just don't know of any other retailer that's like that. That's like Amazon. But I know that there's people who are going to be boycotting Amazon because of the whole Kindle debacle thing. But there is a really good reason for keeping physical copies of certain books, because they can just delete books from your Kindle. Did you know that? They can, like, say, I guess there was somebody who apparently wasn't allowed to be selling a copy of 1984, and people had purchased this and downloaded it to their Kindle or had it in their library, and then Amazon realized they weren't supposed to be selling it, so they were able to literally go into your Kindle and remove it. They're not giving you your money back, as far as I know, but they were able to take your copy of the book. Whereas if it's a physical copy that got shipped to you or you bought at a store, there's no way that they can take that away from you. So there are good things about having physical copies of books. I do like to have a kind of a simplified or a minimalist approach to some things. But if books are your thing, then really just think about what are your favorites and keep those. Don't keep every book. You don't have to. Like I said, Bridges of Madison County, everywhere. Gone with the Wind, everywhere. You can get certain copies of books literally anywhere. They will always be printing them. And so you won't have to worry about like, oh, I don't have this book. If it's a favorite of yours, keep that one. Let me know in the comments if you prefer e-readers or if you prefer physical copies of books. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, and give me a like. And I hope to see you next time.